So brokers should be meeting clients for the first time, especially the first time, at the office.
Absolutely. They should, and anyone that doesn't want to meet you at the office, there, as again, I said, it's a red flag. We meet them, we get some information from them, and that's just actually a very good business practice to have. Over and above safety.
And get identification.
Get
Make
identification.
copies. Make copies of the driver's license.
And please let your peers or your manager know where you're going. It is very important that we're out and about, we let people know where we're going, and check in.
And then at the property, some thoughts. Literally, they're saying avoid basements and attics, but...
I have a story for you. I remember years ago when I got started, I was showing a property down the South Shore, and it was at night. Of course, we talk about that. A fellow called and said, "Hey, I'd like to see this house." It was night. It was this time of year. And I said, "Oh, sure." I was a pop-top broker, ran right up, jumped right up. "I'll meet you right over there." And it was a vacant house. And showed him around. Seemed like a nice enough person. And he went down to the basement, and he called me from down in the basement and says, "I can't find the light switch." And I said, well, it's right there. There's string. Just pull the string. He goes, "Why don't you come down and show me?"
That's scary.
Listen to your instincts. My instincts kicked in.
And you ran out the front door.
I ran out the front door,
office.
drove back to the office. That guy tore out of there so quick.
Really?
He did.
Wow.
He tore out of there quick. A neighbor happened to
So
notice.
you could have been a statistic.
And I could have been a statistic.
This was vacant, or?
It was a vacant property, and I said, "Sure, I'll be right over. Sure, no problem."
I had
And
no
you know,
idea.
and when referencing it back to my manager, he says, "Well, what was his name?" "Oh, I don't know." "What kind of car did he drive?" "Oh, I can't really remember." And it's just seriously not.
What did he look like? It was dark.
Yeah, it was dark. It was the fall. It was this time of year.
Not funny.
Not fun.
Not funny
Not at all.
So, don't walk behind potential buyers. I guess that would, be true for anybody at this point. I even did a showing today, and I was thinking, it was a couple of college kids I was showing a house to, but I was thinking, here's where I start. I let them go first.
Right, I know. And that's really a practice that we need to change our mindset. We need to be leading the way. We need to be leading and feel comfortable as to where we're going through on a property. About a year ago, I was managing a real estate office, and I did something very similar. I brought someone into a conference room, and I let them sit between me and the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I was cornered. And it resulted in a person that was very angry and disgruntled, a tenant whose house had been sold, and she was a little deranged and thought she owned the house and had been sold out from under her. Well, I brought her into a conference room, sat in a corner, she had access to the door, and she completely wigged out. Police were involved, the whole bit. Shame on me, not shame on her. You have to realize where you are and be aware of your surroundings.
Same thing with parking. Don't find yourself boxed in by the cars that come in behind you.
Never have that moment
Always
that you
have
can
an
get
escape
away.
route
Have an
planned.
escape route.
And have an excuse if you feel uncomfortable. In other words, my phone just went off.
I'm feeling terribly sick right now. I something, we'll have to reschedule. Nobody professionally is going to have a problem with you if you all of a sudden, something's come over me, I don't feel well, I need to reschedule. What do you say to that? You just, whatever
you had the best idea, you just ran.
I ran.
Did you really do that?
I did, I ran. And I just want to share with all of you listening out there.
You really felt
I felt very threatened because I have had self-defense courses, and I know that a lot of offices bring people in to teach self-defense and training. I want to tell you, if you, God forbid, are ever in the situation that there is a gun involved, you run. And the reason I say that is because every step that you get further away from that gun, the less likely it is to hit a vital organ. And so you're in a situation where someone has a gun, you just run. Don't look back, just run.
We had a situation in our town here outside of Boston, Newton, Massachusetts, which is usually known as the safest city in the whole country. But a woman comes into an open house, leaves, comes back at the end of the open house with a gentleman who then proceeded to pull out a gun and threaten the Realtor. And she didn't run, and she didn't talk. She literally found a way to grab his wrist, and the gun went off. Luckily, she wasn't hit, and they ran out. But she could have been in big trouble.
Again, you run.
Well, again, she might have been boxed in.
Right.
You know, so is it going to come to a point where realtors are carrying weapons?
They are.
They already are.
They are.
Probably are.
They're carrying mace, they're carrying guns, and frankly, a lot of them with very little training or skills or practice to know how to use them. I think strategy versus weapons is the way to go. People might have a difference of opinion, but some of these strategies that we're talking about today are truly ones that you need to start to embrace in your daily practice.